It's time for my Week 14 NFL predictions for the 2016 NFL season. You're watching the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. And welcome to the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. Time for my NFL Week 14 picks and predictions last week. Your boy had a good week. I went 12-3 straight up against the spread. I went 11-4, and for my guarantees, I went 4-3, which is pretty good, but I wanted a little bit more. It's so odd when I go so good against the spread, really my best week against the spread, I just didn't do that well for my guarantees. I don't know, but it's okay because overall it was a great week and I'm really pulling it together. The last couple of weeks I've done fantastic. 11, and now 12. Let's go for it again. And this week, it's going to be difficult, right? Because I went through my picks and I changed them, a lot of them multiple times because I just found myself picking too many road teams. And that is a very dangerous thing to do because we have a situation where a lot of these road teams, man, not a lot of them are favored, but they're underdogs by 1 or 2 points, right? And that's so dangerous. But ultimately, I found a good combination to where I picked a good amount of road teams, but not too many. And I picked enough to where if a road team wins, I probably picked them, and I'm comfortable with that. So I'm not going to go 16-0 this week. That's just not going to happen. But I think I found a happy medium where I'm going to go 11-5 or 12-4, and I'm going to be damn happy with it. So with that said, let's just get started. Let's go into my picks. Let's start with the Thursday night game, the Oakland Raiders going to Kansas City, facing the Kansas City Chiefs. And if you've heard my dumbass the last couple of videos, I've said, I have the Raiders winning this game, blah, 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 and I've changed my mind, right? Here's the problem. Okay, you're talking about a Thursday night game, a divisional game, but a Thursday night game where the Raiders are going to have to prep Monday, Tuesday, and then fly out to Kansas City, on Wednesday. Man, I don't love that at all. And then now the weather reports for this game is going to be cold. It's been snowing before this game. Probably won't snow during the game, but it's been, cold, snowy in Kansas City. Raiders, I don't buy them winning this game. And I looked at the Raiders. They've won, a lot of games lately, and they've been very good, but I feel like a loss is coming. I think they're due for a loss. And what better than a Thursday night game to give them that loss? I still believe, though, that the Raiders will win this AFC West. I think after this game, they will win out while the Chiefs lose one game. So I still have the Raiders winning the AFC West. But I think ultimately, man, I have the Chiefs winning this game. It'll be a close one, but I think it's the Chiefs right now. We move on to the Sunday games. Pittsburgh Steelers at the Buffalo Bills. And I wanted to pick the Bills. I really did, but when I looked at who the Bills have beaten this season, I said, oh my God, this game is in Buffalo. It's tough to win in Buffalo. They've been good. But they really haven't beaten anybody this season. I mean, when you sit down, they beat the Cardinals, who are now, 5-6-1. It's not that impressive. They beat the Jacoby Brissett-led Patriots. They beat, the Jets and I believe, the 49ers, but not very good teams. Can they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers to have their most impressive win of the season? I don't buy it. And I think the Steelers team, although they've struggled on the road, they lost in Miami, they lost in Philadelphia very poorly. Those were earlier on in the season, and since then they've been playing a lot better, playing a lot different. Their defense has been stepping up a lot lately. And Tyrod Taylor last week showed I really can't trust him win a football game when it's on the line. So I like the Pittsburgh Steelers to win in Buffalo. We move on to the Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions. And, to me, this is the Lions here. But I think the Lions are going to keep it close. Why? Because, I don't know. That's their move. They like to keep games close. I know last week they won by 15 points in New Orleans. Okay, fine. But remember, they lost to Chicago earlier this year. I remember they let the Jaguars hang around, and they let some other teams hang around. So I think the Lions are going to go back to winning closely, but I have them winning here. We move on to the Cincinnati Bengals at the Cleveland Browns. And also something my dumbass has been saying is that the Cleveland Browns are going to win this game. It is going to be their only game, the game that they win, blah, blah, blah. And last week, I had the Bengals winning against the Philadelphia Eagles. I thought it'd be close, so I only had them winning by 1 point, 23-22. They won 32-14. I said, wow, that's impressive. And it shows me and it tells me that they're still playing for Marvin Lewis, that Marvin Lewis is still coaching this team up. You know, that when they lost to the Bills and when they lost some of these other games, they didn't lose because they weren't being coached well enough or because they didn't care. They lost because they just weren't as good as those teams. But against this team, yeah, they're good enough. And there's no reason why they should lose this game other than just laziness. And also, man, they've been whooping the Browns lately. Remember that awful Johnny Manziel start? Oh my God, his first game, it was so terrible. Andy Dalton eats the Browns for breakfast. I think he does it again here, as the Cincinnati Bengals beat the Cleveland Browns. We move on to the Denver Broncos at the Tennessee Titans. Hello, Titans fans. All right, now here's the problem, guys. If you want to look at this game and you want the Tennessee Titans to win, and I do, I want us to win. I want us to make the playoffs. But I think if we're really being honest with ourselves, and when you really look at this game and you break down the matchups, man, when you look at the matchups, man, I don't think there's much of a chance at all. At all. You're talking about the Tennessee Titans, a team that defensively, their secondary is god-awful. You're talking about Jason McCourty, who's all right, but they're talking about Antoine Blake, who stinks, Bryce McCain, who stinks, Parrish Cox, who's now benched, but no, he's gone. He got rid of him. But anyway, he's not there. LaShawn Sims, who had an awful first game. Maybe he gets better, but I'm doubting it. Now they have to defend Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. Trevor Siemian is probably going to be back for this game. Yeah, he's not great, but man, he can throw it on you. He threw it on the Cincinnati Bengals earlier this season. He threw it on a couple other teams as well. Offensively, can we move the football consistently on this Broncos defense? I know the run defense is pretty bad if you look at it in terms of yards per game, but in terms of yards per rush, I think they only allow like 4.2. That's not that bad. I think we're going to struggle. How is Rashard Matthews and Tajay Sharp going to consistently beat Chris Harris and Aqib Talib? This is a team that won the Super Bowl last year. They've lost 4 games this season. They lost to the Chiefs, the Falcons, the Chargers, and the Chiefs, Falcons, the Raiders, right? Those are good teams. Now, the Chargers aren't, but the Chargers kicked our asses, right? So, God, I can't buy it. I really want to believe it. But the matchups don't match up well to me at all. The only thing that I like is, okay, if we can run the football, then maybe we can hold the time of possession, and we can win the game. But man, I can't buy it. I don't have us even getting that close. I think it's going to be 28-20 Broncos. Now let's move on to the Houston Texans at the Indianapolis Colts. And man, I now have the Indianapolis Colts winning the AFC South. I think they have the most favorable schedule coming up in the AFC South. And this Houston Texans team, they don't want it, man. And it's really a shame. Brock Osweiler, man, the experiment is just going horribly. And it should be an experiment, right? When you invest in a guy now in his 5th year in the NFL, he should be better than this. You should know what to expect from him. And yeah, he wasn't great with the Broncos last year, but man, he was better than this in limited play time. I give you that. But man, he's not playing well at all. The Colts, to me, they're going to start getting on a roll here. It's going to be unfortunate for me because I'm a Titans fan. If they finish 9-7, we're finished. But I think they're going to finish 9-7, and I think that we're finished. And same goes for the Houston Texans. Not because, though, the Colts are going to beat them, but I think the Texans are going to beat themselves. They're beating themselves. They can't win games. They can't beat the Chargers. They can't beat the Packers. These are teams that you have to be able to beat. The Packers, you don't have to, but you should, right? If you're a playoff team, the Packers aren't a playoff team right now. You should beat them. They can't do it. I can't pick them. I have the Indianapolis Colts winning this one. We move on to the Arizona Cardinals at the Miami Dolphins, okay? And the Dolphins, man, they got their ass kicked last week against Baltimore, and I had them losing, but damn, they got their ass kicked, and I didn't see that coming. And that worries me, right? And then the Cardinals, the most infuriating team to pick. I had this team winning the damn Super Bowl before the season. Shame on me. But here's the weird thing about the Cardinals, and the thing that just frustrates me to no end. They are so good statistically. I mean, just so good. They're giving up only 314 yards per game, and they accumulate, or I guess they move almost 400 yards, 389 yards per game. I mean, that is a 75 yard discrepancy there. You're talking about a team that, in terms of allowing yards per rush, only allows about 3.6. They rush well. This Dolphins team, they allow 4.7 yards per rush. God, just Carson Palmer, just hand the ball off to David Johnson and let the man do his thing. Ryan Tannehill, I don't buy that he's going to be able to find success against this Cardinals defense that continues to be very good. I have the Cardinals going on the road, and this is so dangerous because the Cardinals stink on the road, and they're awful on the road. They're just terrible, and I told myself I'm not picking this team on the road anymore. But I have to do it here because, God, the Dolphins' run defense sucks. Just take advantage. Just take advantage. We move on to the Minnesota Vikings at the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I'm picking the Vikings here, but hold on, everybody. Because I think everybody's getting, very excited here saying, Vikings, move on. Man, the Jaguars might win this game. I think of the clunkers, of the stinkers, of the garbage men, of the Jaguars, the Browns, and the 49ers. One of them is going to win this week. In fact, I already know which one. Maybe even two of them. It is very possible to me. Do not sleep on this Jaguars team. I think it's very irresponsible to believe that the Jaguars are going to lose out, the Browns are going to lose out, that the 49ers are going to lose out, that the Jets are going to lose out, although the Jets and 49ers play each other, that all of these horrible teams are going to lose out. I think it's very irresponsible to believe. We've watched the NFL for seasons to come, and there's never been a season where you have an 0-16 team, a 1-15 team, a 2-14 team, and a 3-13 team. I've never seen it, right? Some of them are going to sneak in some wins as we end the season. But again, I can't pick it here. Blake Bortles is a loser, and I can't pick him here. I'm just saying be careful. We move on to the Washington Redskins at the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm picking another road team here. The Eagles stink lately, right? They're still good at home. Of the 9 games that they've won in the past however many weeks, 10 weeks, 2 of them have been at home, okay? And they beat the Vikings and they beat the Falcons, right? So that makes you believe, okay, they can beat this team. But then, I saw something with their ass kicked against the Packers 2 weeks ago. This is a Redskins team that's very similar to the Packers, to where they can put up points on you. They have a quarterback who can move the football and put up points on your ass. They don't have much of a run game, and that's their move. So because the Redskins are so similar to that Packers team that really laid it on the Philadelphia Eagles, I have the Redskins going to Philadelphia and getting another victory here. And Carson Wentz, although I like him, he doesn't inspire much confidence in me lately to pick them to win games this year. So I have the Redskins winning here. We have the San Diego Chargers going to Carolina, facing the Carolina Panthers. And the problem for me for this game, the Panthers, God, what a disaster. Oh my God. As they got their ass kicked. Oh my God. Against the Carolina Panthers, it was so bad. Or not against Carolina Panthers, against Seattle Seahawks. It was so bad. Now this Chargers team, they win a week, they lose a week, they win a week, they lose a week. They're very oscillating, they're very sinusoidal, and I think this is the week that they win, right? They haven't won in 2 weeks, and then they win. I'm telling you, they win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose after their 1-3 start, okay? So I have them winning here because they lost last week. That's my rationale, right? And I can trust them more. They're more consistent than this Panthers team, but it wouldn't shock me in the least if the Panthers won this game. We move on to the New York Jets at the San Francisco 49ers, and the Jets stink as they got their ass kicked against the Indianapolis Colts 41-10, and man, that is bad. Now these morons are talking about starting Bryce Petty, who, I'm not kidding when I say this, might be the worst quarterback to ever play in the NFL. Honestly, he might be. I think he's worse than Johnny Manziel. I think he's worse than that moron fat black dude, Jamarcus Russell. I think he's awful. I've seen nothing from Bryce Petty to indicate that he can ever be a quarterback for the CFL football team. The only reason he's in the league is that the Jets are begging him, please do something. We need a quarterback so bad, right? He stinks. Colin Kaepernick, okay, has been playing better. God, he looks skinny, but he looks better, okay? He has horrible hair, but he looks better, okay? So I can buy that, just hold on to the football, just run it on this Jets team, and then just watch as Bryce Petty loses the game. I mean, remember when these guys they were hosting the LA Rams, and they scored 6 freaking points. 6. So I can't pick this guy to score anything. I can't pick this guy to win anything. I had the 49ers winning a game. Something they haven't done in weeks, months. Seems like years. Let's move on to the Atlanta Falcons at the Los Angeles Rams, and the Rams suck. Okay, they've won 1 game of their last 8, and I mean, God, they suck so bad. Oh, and now they're letting Eric Dickerson, they're not letting him in the building, and they're a disaster. They're giving Jeff Fisher extensions for no reason. Atlanta should win this game, and I really like it because the Falcons lost last week, so they're going to be very grounded. They know they have to win a lot of games. They feel the pressure of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers up their asses, so I have them winning here. That's all I got for you. We move on. Seattle Seahawks at the Green Bay Packers, and I really wanted to pick the Seahawks to win this game, and they still might, but the Green Bay Packers have been playing better lately, and I think it's tangible. I think it's true. I think their defense is playing much better. And they have 30 sacks on the season. That's tied for 7th in the NFL. The way you beat the Seahawks is you get after Russell Wilson. You pressure him, and unfortunately for Seahawks fans and for their team, he can't do much under pressure. I don't know why, but he just can't do it. So I project them to do that. Now, they're going to miss Nick Perry, their outside linebacker, who is actually leading the team in sacks right now. But with Julius Peppers and Clay Matthews and DeTone Jones and Mike Daniels, they should still find success. And I think it's going to be very low scoring, but I have the Packers winning this game. We move on, and also Earl Thomas, that loss hurts. We move on to the New Orleans Saints at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and man, the Bucs are rolling. And I'm so happy, right? Because one of my bold predictions before the season was that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would make the playoffs. And I think that now that they're on the road to winning games, that they're actually going to do it. And I had them winning this game. I don't think that comes as a shock to anybody. The Saints, I said they go 7-9 every year, but now that I'm looking at the schedule upcoming, I'm not sure they're even going to do that this season. But they're going to put up a fight. But the Bucs, I think it's just their defense is playing so well right now. You got to pick the Bucs to me. The interesting thing when it comes to the Bucs, though, next week they go to Dallas. And we'll see how Dallas performs this week, but I think the Bucs might win that game just because they're so hot right now. I mean, they're playing so well. If they played at this level the entire season, they would have won 11-5, 12-4. That's how high of a level they're playing right now. So look forward to that matchup next week, Sunday Night Football. But before that matchup, let's talk about this matchup. The Sunday night game between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. And Cowboy fans, you were in my conscience as I was thinking about this game. I said, man, if I pick the Giants to win this game, Cowboys fans are going to be upset at me. They're going to have more evidence against me that I hate their football team or what have you. But I just had to go with what was in my heart and my brain. And that is that the Giants are going to win this game. And it's so close. I mean, it is so close. But I think, you ever heard that Jay-Z, DJ Khaled, Future song, I got the keys, the keys, the keys. You ever heard that song? You haven't? Well, okay. That song, basically, it relates to this game in this manner. I think the Giants have the keys to beat the Cowboys. And I think the Vikings last week had some of those keys as well in terms of defensively slowing down Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott. The problem with the Vikings is they can't score points. They have a horrible quarterback in Sam Bradford. Or maybe not horrible, but just not good enough. Eli Manning is better, and this offense is better. And they're a team that can move the football on this Cowboys defense. They've done it before. He'll do it again. Eli Manning has shown an ability to beat this Cowboys team from time to time. He doesn't sweep them, but this year, man, up in New York where they're 5-1 at home this season, this Cowboys team, while they're very good, they're going to finish 13-3 to me. They're going to be the first seed in the NFC, and right now I have them going to the Super Bowl. I don't have them winning this game. I have the New York Giants winning at home. I just think the 5-1 record at home, this Giants team, how they match up so well. I mean, they have 3 cornerbacks, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, Janoris Jenkins, Eli Apple. They limit Des Bryant, Cole Beasley, their effectiveness. They have Landon Collins who can guard Jason Witten, maybe even pick off Dak Prescott. You're talking about the biggest problem here. Can the Giants spy Dak Prescott when he tries to use his leg? Probably not, but I think they'll do enough to win this football game, man. Giants up in New York. I got to pick them. I have the Giants winning this football game. Now let's move on to the Monday Night Football game. Baltimore Ravens at the New England Patriots. And I'm shocked. that there's so many people picking the Ravens here. Look, it's possible. I mean, I can buy that, but really, can you pick that? I mean, do you really have the balls to pick that? Wow, good, lucky for you. I don't. Okay, I have no cojones today. I think it's the Patriots here. I mean, yeah, the Patriots have issues. I mean, they're going to lose, I think, next week in Denver. They're going to lose. But this game at home, they should win. This Ravens team, they're actually good. I'll give them that. They're good. But to win in New England right now, I don't think that they're that good. I don't think they're as good as they've been in the past when they were able to do such a thing. So I have the Patriots winning this game here. If they don't, though, I'd be very concerned because I think they're going to lose in Denver. In fact, I'm damn near confident in that. And if they lose this one, I'm not sure if they can beat the Raiders and the Chiefs later on. So just look out for that. Guarantees of the week. These are my betting picks of the week. Last week we went 4-3 in these. This week I'm expecting about the same because honestly I'm not in love with these. I really wish I could come on here and say I'm in love with these picks that I have this week for the guarantees, but I'm not. But I'll just give them anyway because what the hell. Let's talk about the Broncos +1. Again, it's unfortunate because I'm a Titans fan, but I'm very confident in the Broncos winning this game. I just don't see how the Titans are going to beat last year's Super Bowl champion. I don't see it. I mean, they're so good. They're on a different level than us. It's sad, but it's true. We have the Bucks -2.5. If the Bucks win this game, it'll be close, but I'm pretty sure it'll be by a field goal or more. So because I like the Bucks to win the game, I like the Bucks -2.5. Just let's ride with the hot hand until they prove to not be hot anymore. We have the Steelers -2. I'm pretty confident about them beating the Bills. The Bills haven't been playing that well defensively or even offensively lately, and the Steelers team's been playing better defensively, although their offense really hasn't exploded. I like the Steelers -2. We move on to the Bears +8, and I know the Bears stink, but remember they went to New York and they challenged. They beat the 49ers last week pretty impressively. They've only lost one game by more than 8 points. I think once in the last 6 or 7 weeks, and this is a divisional matchup, so I expect them to do it again. I expect them to cover here +8. Falcons -6. Again, I think they're really upset about losing last week to Kansas City. I think they come out, they get it done, and I just can't expect Jared Goff to outscore Matt Ryan, even within a field goal or a touchdown. So give me the Atlanta Falcons -6. We have some over-under plays. How about the Dallas Cowboys at the New York Giants? Currently, this line is about 46.5. I think that's too high. I like the under there. And then we have the Seattle Seahawks at the Green Bay Packers. That line is 46.5 as well. I think that's too high. I think it's going to be low scoring. I like the under there as well. And there you go. Those are my picks and predictions for week 14 of the NFL season. What are yours? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this is the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. Peace.